Hello everyone, Sage here for Kalkine Media. Welcome to another exciting edition of the Executive Corner Expert Talks. In this edition, we'll be shining the spotlight on SpendTheBits Inc. And the best way to find out more about this innovative platform is to sit down with the CEO himself, Jaskaran Kambo. And to give you some background, SpendTheBits is an app, easy and fast, available on iOS and Google Play stores that can facilitate the movement of Bitcoin. And so to find out a bit more about how SpendTheBits works on the XRP Ledger, let's talk to the CEO himself, Jay Kambo. Welcome to the show, Jay.
Thank you, Sage. Thank you for having me.
Well, Jay, it's so great you could join us. You have a wealth of experience in the traditional finance world as well as in crypto. So can we begin with finding out a bit more about what SpendTheBits actually is? Is it an app or a wallet or a comprehensive ecosystem for the movement of cryptos?
Yeah. So I'd love to get started on this. So SpendTheBits is a crypto payment ecosystem that entails a mobile app which is powered by XRP Ledger, a decentralized open source platform. And we are a non-custodial DeFi wallet, which means user get to keep their secret key, hence making it easy for our end user to hold all their funds. And we are a registered money service business entity with FinTrack. Our app that's enable user to spend their Bitcoin using PayString within seconds without any hassle, which is a huge contrast to the current Bitcoin ecosystem.
Right. So I'm finding that at the moment, there's a lot of technology upgrades going on in the industry, especially with wallets. So do you think that's going to be vital to the mass adoption of cryptos, getting the technology more user-friendly?
So when you say, user-friendly, the UI and UX has to stand out, right? For that, I think, there has to be a lot of work done, in order to educate the end user that, hey, this is the non-custodial order. You need to, the UI needs to be very, very easy so the end user can be, using this on a daily basis. It has to be a friendly, UI and UX.
Yes, absolutely. And now the most critical question, especially as wallets become more interoperable with various blockchains, how secure is your app, SpendTheBits, in terms of crypto transfers and storage? And if you say it is secure, could you please also tell us what underpins this security?
Yeah, so SpendTheBits uses XRP Ledger to ensure the security of transaction. The feature that lets SpendTheBits users store their private keys on the local device, it further strengthens the security of the digital asset of our users. Apart from that, we have a 2FA authentication for each transaction that got facilitated on the platform, and also we did a extensive security testing of the app to protect against the DDoS attack, using SQL injections, cross-site scripting, server-side request forgery. These are some of the industry level practices that we use to ensure the safety of the platform.
Great. Cybersecurity is so important and really at the forefront of most users' minds. Thanks, Jaskaran or Jay, for clarifying that for us. Now that the security aspect is covered, let's tackle the second most important part of digital assets, which is the speed of transfers. Is SpendTheBits fast?
Yeah, so SpendTheBits is powered by XRP Ledger. So every transaction, it doesn't matter if it is Bitcoin or any other CBDC, central bank digital issued currency, or any other digital asset, you can say it will settle in 3 to 5 seconds, regardless of your amount or your dollar value.
That is amazing. So even during times of congestion, when the blockchain gets busy, what are the users going to expect in those cases?
Yeah, so XRP Ledger can process 1,500 transactions per second, right? So we haven't encountered a single chance where the transaction which never got settled. Actually, all the transactions are real time. By the time, let's say a user want to spend their Bitcoin to buy a cup of coffee, the transaction will clear by the time they are on the till. Just scan and pay from your app.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And 15,000 transactions per second?
It's 1,500 transactions per second, but we can scale up to unlimited if we move over to the XRPL sidechain. There are an additional customization we can do to scale this app.
Oh, 1,500. Wow, that's still a huge number per second. Amazing.
Yeah.
So the XRP Ledger is one of the key features of SpendTheBits. XRP is a very important protocol. They've been around for a while, and they are known as the payments crypto, really. They've been working with the banks and a lot of the regulators as well. So they have a very important stance in the whole sector. Could you tell the listeners why this blockchain network is better as compared to others for your particular platform, please?
Yeah, so when I was looking for this solution, why first the problem was why does it take so much time for Bitcoin transaction? Obviously, because of the mass adoption on the Bitcoin network, the network get congested, and then each transaction sometimes it takes 10 minutes to 40 minutes to clear those transactions, right? Mm-hmm. So but the value proposition of that from SpendTheBits point of view, since it's powered by XRP Ledger, the transfer of Bitcoin can be finalized in a matter of seconds versus the 10 minutes to 40 minute lag time on the Bitcoin blockchain. By deploying the user Bitcoin onto the XRP Ledger, the user gets all the benefit of the XRP blockchain, faster transaction per second, minimum cost, and then we are eco-friendly too, right? Plus they get to custody of, get to the custody of their own funds, and at last, like I said, our app is eco-friendly, which is a win-win scenario for any user.
Yes, and I'm glad you mentioned eco-friendly, because that is also a very important factor at the moment. I mean, if you're not planting trees, if you're living or working in the crypto world, maybe you should be. So Jay, let's talk about you. Can we find out a little bit more about the reasons you entered into the exciting world of crypto? And is it the fact that you will believe in the potential of blockchain, or was it more just the craze for the asset class that you decided to jump on the bandwagon?
Yeah, so I started looking into this solution back in 2018, starting of 2019. By the time I was looking, I was trading mostly in Bitcoin, Ethereum, on the exchanges. At that time, I noticed there is a significant gap in Bitcoin transaction. When I was off ramping and on ramping Bitcoin from those exchanges to the personal wallet, the transaction takes forever. Sometimes I was wondering, where the hell is my Bitcoin, right? Because it takes around, like I said, one Bitcoin blockchain takes around 10 minutes to 40 minutes to clear, right? So the transaction, even if you're withdrawing to your personal wallet, can take up to 1 hour to 2 hours, depend upon the network activity. If the network is most busier, the more you have to wait. So that really beg a question that what I can do to solve this problem. So I look around, I look around other networks as well, like if there is any L2 solution for this. The first instance was I look at the Lightning Network, I read through their technical documentation, but there was some constraint on the Lightning Network, since I read somewhere on the blog that if you have to open up a two-way channel in order to facilitate those Bitcoin transaction on the Lightning. But that's creates a lot of problem if somebody close that channel in between. User funds may be at risk of losing all the Bitcoin. So that's the reason I look at other solution. That's how I came across XRP Ledger, and I start looking at. I say it's like I said, it's meant for payments, and it worked really well with us. And then started building on this.
That's great. So basically you were a user who was noticing what the issues were in the system, and that's how you noticed how to find solutions and innovate on it. Is that right?
Yeah. So basically, when I was moving my Bitcoin from exchange to my personal wallet, takes now 1 hour to get that Bitcoin. But if we can use some other solution where the transaction are efficient and faster, if I get my Bitcoin within seconds, why not use that solution?
That's great. I'm really seeing payments as a fantastic use case for crypto, and it's really helping many nations to gain access to money and to transfer money in places where there's no banks and things like that. So sounds great, Jay. Where are most of your clients coming from? Which geographies?
So right now we are live in Canada, right? But recently El Salvador make an announcement, and then Central African region make an announcement. Both announced that Bitcoin will be considered as a legal tender, which became a huge advantage for us because we are Bitcoin payments at our core, right? So now we are actively working with the legal team in El Salvador to launch the app there.
Oh, fantastic. Congratulations with that. Best of luck with that. So SpendTheBits is also currently allowing Bitcoin transfers, which you have mentioned briefly. Could you also tell us a bit more about Ethereum and Dogecoin? Will SpendTheBits also support many other cryptos as well in the future?
Yeah, so the goal of SpendTheBits is to have a multi-currency payment option for our user, but currently right now we choose to focus on BTC as a payment mechanism since there is a pain point in sending and receiving Bitcoin payments, right? But yeah, I believe in Ether, it has a lots of potential since it has a smart contract functionality built into it, and there is a big development community developers who are building on top of Ethereum, right? So and then another Dogecoin is also it is a meme coin, although it doesn't have any utility right inbuilt into it, but we will consider these assets as a future prospect for our app.
Sure. Yes, well, Dogecoin's got the advocate Elon Musk, who's really helping to push it up to the levels it's reached, I suppose.
We are looking forward to it, right? So once we have some kind of utility, it's very easy for us to support those asset class in our app.
Yeah, sure. Well, great to hear. And the next question is about the fees. Many crypto enthusiasts claim that the cost of remittance is low in cryptocurrencies, which is to its favor. What type of fees can the users of SpendTheBits experience on your platform?
Yeah, so we charge not 0.10%, which is maybe 90% lesser than 1%, right? 0.10. It's a very minimal fees that the user has to pay, and the higher you go, the less you pay. Since we are powered by XRP Ledger, our in-house cost for any transaction is less than a penny, right? So we can monetize on top of it, but since it's very cheap. And we are looking our app, as for the mass adoption. It will have mass adoption in the future. So that's the reason we have decided to lower down the fee. It's very minimal fee. If you look at the traditional space, even in the crypto or crypto space, if you are spending your Bitcoin or Ethereum, sometimes what happens is, if you're spending $100 using Bitcoin, you may end up, having $15 fee, on the Bitcoin blockchain. Or if you're on the Ethereum, and you're trying to spend your Ether, it may happen on top of a $100 transaction. You have $100 transaction, you have to spend $200 on top of it. This is how much expensive crypto payment system is on the layer one, versus over here, if user is spending $100 using SpendTheBits app, I think they will only pay less than $1. Wow.
That's amazing.
yeah
that will definitely draw users to your platform, I think. So we're ending up the discussion now shortly. It's been informative and such a productive meeting. Is there any piece of advice for the crypto enthusiasts that you'd like to give, especially for the amateurs out there who are facing this extreme volatility maybe for the first time?
Yeah, so my message to all those crypto folks is this is very early time for crypto. It has just begun. The regulation hasn't even kicked in yet. So I would say, I know the volatility is there, but it will go away once, the industry get, matured a little, right? So, I'm looking, I'm in it in a long haul, right? So, I'm looking for, at least 3 to 5 years to get more adoption, for the crypto. And then that time, I think the volatility will go away.
Fantastic. So you think people should just stick with it, maybe develop their education around the space a bit more and not be too scared?
Yeah. So, if you're trying to get invested into crypto, this is the right time. I think right now Bitcoin has dropped 70% from its peak high, right? And then you should also look at the coin utility factor, right? What the project is trying to deliver, right? Maybe there is education content that user must have to look at. How strong is the team, what problem they're trying to solve, right? And then how that token is getting utilized in their network, right? So these are the fundamental things I think user has to look into before even they get started investing into the crypto space.
So true, so true. Wise words to finish off with. Thanks so much, Jay. We really do appreciate your insights.
Thank you, Sage.
And for everyone listening out there, thank you for your company. That was Jaskaran Kambo, the CEO of SpendTheBits Inc. And if you missed any part of the chat, you can catch the full interview on Kalkine Media's YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe. I'm Sage here, reminding you to please stay apprised and invest wise with Kalkine.